Normally on this show, we unboxing shoes, but today, we ain't unboxing anything. Special delivery, baby. Let's get it. Yo, family, what's good? It's your boy Sykes, and we are back with a first for special delivery. Now, y'all know it's Black History Month, so you know we gotta celebrate right. And we have Under Armour's entire Black History Month collection here with us today, all designed by Devin Allen. Now, you may know Devin as a photographer, an activist, an artist, and you may have seen some of his work on the cover of Time magazine where he covered the Freddie Gray protest. Now, you also know him as a sneaker designer. What you're about to watch is a conversation between me and Devin about his new collection, what it means to him, and what it means to the city of Baltimore. Hope you enjoy. Devin Allen, what is good, man? Thank you so much for hopping on special delivery with us today, man. How you doing? How you feeling today?
Thank you for having me. I'm super excited to be on the show. I'm doing good, just taking it all in.
Yeah, man. So obviously we got you here to talk about the Under Armour and Devin Allen collection, man. You are a man of many titles, a man of many talents, but did you ever think that sneaker designer would be one? Like, how did this come about with you and Under Armour? Like, how'd you end up designing your own sneaker collection?
I'm still trying to take it in. It's just so unbelievable. Under Armour reached out to me back in 2015 after, I landed on the cover of Time magazine after the death of Freddie Gray and everything that happened in Baltimore. And they reached out to me that year and bought me my passport and flew me out to Asia to document Steph Curry. So it's, the relationship has been there. So when they reached out to me about designing a line, for Black History Month, I just hopped right on it.
Yeah. And you talk about the work that you did in 2015 and covering the Freddie Gray protest and the Baltimore uprising. And that was some of the most raw photography that I've ever seen personally. So I'm a big fan of yours from that. And I just want to know, man, like, what is it like to sort of shoot that sort of thing?
I didn't actually know what I was doing. Growing up in Baltimore, I always felt like I didn't have a voice, but photography gave me that voice. I just knew that I needed to be there. And from studying people like Gordon Parks and understanding the power of photography, I wanted to help shape the narrative of my community and tell a real story of what Baltimore has to offer. And I felt like no one could tell that story better than me. I'm from West Baltimore, born and raised, and Baltimore gets a bad rap, and I wanted to make sure that if the story is going to be told, it's going to be told in its entirety. And it's kind of like a gift and a curse. My career's at the hands of police. Freddie Gray passed away. That launched my career. And it gave me a platform. But that's why everything that I do, I'm so adamant about just my community, because this is the community that raised me, and I just want to give back to it.
Yeah, how did that feeling sort of inspire the collection that you worked on with Under Armour? Like, how does that add to what you did here?
Everything, down to, the materials that we chose. Like, some of the shoes got 3M on it to tie back to me having the photography and the flash. Some of the shoes are like concrete. It ties back to just Baltimore, being from the street, being gritty, talking about the resilience in the city. The line is inspired by just the community, the youth, and the resilience and the grit of the city. So we set out to do that, working with an amazing Under Armour team that allowed me to experiment, because I'm not a designer at all, but every idea that I threw out there, they work with it.
Can you sort of walk me through some of those ideas? Like, I'm loving the color palettes on these things. It feels like a pretty minimalist design, which I'm super duper into. As y'all can see, like, I don't have no like crazy colors over here. Like, what are some of your favorite design details in the collection?
And I'm a very minimalist person also. So they knew I didn't want a bunch of flash or a bunch of, too many colors. So we kept it simple, with the red and the green, of course, tying back to Black History Month. And then keeping it just all black, ties back to just my photography style. I love black and white. That's my style all day. My favorite colors, and we try to tie all that together, and wanted to make sure that it's still, when people wear the shoes, it still ties back to me. It ties back to Baltimore. and it ties back to everything. So when you look at the Curry 8, it's called Beautiful Flow, and that comes from my book that's called A Beautiful Ghetto. So it ties back to everything. So everything that we work on is it's the heart of the city, and my heart is in it.
What has it been like sort of seeing these in the community? Like you were telling me earlier about how you were wearing your Jones, then you seen somebody else with them on, and it's just like, I know that's gotta be crazy for you.
Yeah, it's weird because, I could be out just walking on the street and then someone would have the shoes on. And mind you, I'm real laid back. I don't like a lot of attention. So, it's COVID, so I have my mask on, but most people recognize me locally in my city because of my hair. So when people walk down and I'm like, oh, I like those shoes. And then they notice it's me and they like freak out. So it feels really good. It's just, I'm just waiting to just keep pushing the bar and then, keep seeing what else I'm capable of, and just keep trying to open up these doors for the next generation.
Yeah, so we have this segment on our show we call the Brass Tacks, and we essentially are telling people how these shoes fit in the sneaker culture, why they're worth their time, and like who the shoes are really for. So I'm gonna ask you, Devin, what is the brass tacks on your shoe? Who are these shoes really for? How do you feel like they fit in sneaker culture, your culture, the culture of Baltimore, and Black history?
I think the shoe is very important. I think the first thing is that the proceeds are going to something that I've been working on for years. One of the reasons why I decided to stay in Baltimore after my career took off, because I wanted to teach inner city kids photography. And growing up for me, art was not accessible for a lot of us, and I want to change that. So a lot of the proceeds are going to Wide Angle Youth Media, and that's a nonprofit in Baltimore City that teaches inner city kids photography, media, so they can do the things that I do. And I'm actually going to be working on hands-on with this. I'm mentoring the kids, which I've been doing since 2015. Even down to you look at the Curry 8 that's in the collection. I've been working with Curry for 5 years. He's like a brother. I've gone to Oakland and taught photography on his behalf. So I think this shoe is different from a lot of other shoes because it's activating and changing the narrative, and it's actually giving back to the community. It's beyond just being apparel. It's about moving the culture forward and then opening up these doors and inspiration. So when you look at the line, the shoe is for everybody, but just know it's from the streets. It's gritty. It's about the resilience in the youth. It's about inspiring the youth to reach for the stars. And that's what this shoe is about.
Yeah, man, that's incredible stuff. Last question for you. You might not even have an answer to it, but last question. What is next for Devin Allen as far as design goes? Like, what are you thinking about anything? Is it too soon for that? Like, how you feeling?
Really, like, I'm still riding the wave. I'm still, the shoe just released. Just seeing people wear it, I'm just blown away. And I'm already plotting. Like, I want to move into high fashion one day, design some stuff like Kanye or something like that, get into that space. So, like I tell everybody, I'm just shooting for the stars, and everything that I do, Baltimore's on my back. And it's always about just opening up doors and doing things and changing the world, with every move that I make. So.
Yeah, man, that's incredible, man. Much love to you. Wish you much success in the future. Thank you so much for being a part of this show today, man. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, sir. Salute. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Special Delivery. If you like what you see, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Check out our playlist for the rest of the heat that we review, or maybe just check out this video right here.